Hey everybody, today I'm going to share just a few tips, if you will, on how to live a simpler life. These are just a few things that Ryan and I have changed or incorporated into our life to help us live simpler with our family. All right, so I'll start with the most obvious, which is a smaller space to live in. So as most of you know, if you've watched at all, you know that we sold our house, which was about a 4,000 square foot house that we had recently paid off. So yay for being debt free. But we sold that house and we bought a duplex. So we live in one side and we rent the other. We went from about 4,000 square foot to about 1,500, 14 or 1,500 square foot. So downsized significantly. But that's one thing that we found has helped us live simpler, right? We have a smaller living space, which means it's cheaper. It's obviously a lot cheaper than our house was, and that's in regards to a mortgage, in regards to like heating and cooling the space, it's a lot cheaper. It's easier to clean and maintain. So, you know, Ryan's not spending like hours and hours on end every weekend maintaining the property. Now we do have a dream to move on to another home and just keep the duplex as like an investment opportunity, and have a little bit more property. But we learned with our other house, we don't want to maintain that much property all the time, right? So that's one way, is smaller space. Again, cheaper, easier to clean and maintain. I spend way less time cleaning this space than I did cleaning my other house. And fortunately, I love to clean and organize. So it didn't really feel like a chore for me. But having a smaller space to clean, obviously it's quicker to clean, so it gives me more time with my family. And that's ultimately what we have found in living simpler, right? It allows us more time to be with each other. So that's the first thing, downsizing into a smaller living space. All right, the next way that we have found to live simple kind of goes off of having a smaller space, and that is having less stuff, right? You have a smaller place, you have less stuff. Specifically, in a couple areas for us. Number one was the toys that the kids had. It is absolutely ridiculous how many toys our kids had. So I just went through them. I got rid of them if they were broken, or if they never played with them, or even some of them if they liked but they didn't play with a lot, I went ahead and donated it or sold it, got rid of it. And I kept toys that were educational, or that they just absolutely loved and they used every day, right? And so now how I'm going to maintain that is we're going to go through our toys every year before Christmas. So our kids' birthdays are in November and February. So right before November, we will go through all the toys and I'm going to let Cruz pick out toys that he still loves and see if there's any he wants to donate. I'm not going to make him get rid of them. I'm just going to say like, hey, are there any toys you don't want to use anymore that you don't play with that you want to give to another kid? And let him make that decision. And then he'll get new stuff for Christmas, right? But I'll link a video down below where I talk about getting our kids experiences versus stuff. And I'm encouraging family members to do that as well. Like, hey, instead of buying Cruz a toy, pay and take him to the movies, take him to the zoo, pay for the memories, pay to spend time with him, right? And not for a toy that we're going to donate next year or that's going to break in an hour, right? So that's less stuff specifically in the arena of toys, but also so clothes for us was another big one. I just went through and picked out the clothes that I really loved, that I wore all the time. And if I only wore it once or twice a year, I got rid of it. I think for women, or I shouldn't group women, right? For me, there were a couple pieces I was holding on to because I was like, what if I have that one holiday party? Or what if I have to dress up in 80s? I'm going to need these orange pants. Or like, what if I'm going to a themed party and I have to look like Madonna? I'm going to need this vest. Like, what? No. You can get something at Goodwill. You can borrow something. Like, you don't have to have those pieces. So I just got rid of everything if I didn't wear it on a regular basis. And it was so freeing. And now my options are so simple, right? In the morning, I don't have to dig through a bazillion items to try to figure out what I'm going to wear to work or whatever. It's just a few pieces, and guess what? I know they all fit and I know I love them all. So that was another category that was very freeing. So here's a fun fact. When we moved, I had an 8-piece setting of china that we had gotten for our wedding. And it was like the fiesta dishes, right? It wasn't like super like fancy china. My mom wanted me to register for that, and I was like, no way, not having it. So I had like an 8-piece fiesta setting, and I sold it. And Ryan and I went to Walmart and got 4 plates and 4 bowls from the Pioneer Woman setting, and they're gorgeous, and they're all different. Another fun little tidbit there. But it was actually Ryan's idea. He was like, what if we only did 4 plates and 4 bowls because there's only 4 of us? And here's something fun. 2 of us, the children, don't even use plates and bowls. And so my initial reaction was kind of like, I was kind of shaken, right? I was like, what if people come over and we have to entertain people? Okay, first of all, Allie, we live in a duplex. Nobody's coming over to hang out with us. Second of all, it's called paper plates, and it's a lot easier to clean. So that's what we did. We got rid of everything. I got rid of pots and pans that I never used, or maybe used once, because we all know I'm a terrible cook. And I kept essentials. I kept the crock pot, kept a few pans and a few pots. Like literally got rid of everything. Haven't missed it, guys. Haven't missed it. So those are just a few areas like that we got rid of stuff, right? So smaller space and less stuff are the first 2 ways that we found to live simpler. Okay, here's a big one, and this is time management. This can be really tricky and really hard, but specifically, we've tried to be very aware and intentional in how we manage our time, specifically separating work from home life. I'm pretty bad, used to be really bad, about checking emails and just working right at home after hours. And Ryan and I made a few rules, just a few little bitty changes that have helped us focus on time management and make sure that we're spending work time during work time and family time during family time. So one of the things we changed that it made the biggest impact, I think, is we leave our phones on the bar in the kitchen. Like we have our phone chargers in there, and when we get home, we plug our phones up on the bar and they stay there. So if I want to go look at my phone or check an email or whatever, I have to physically get up and like walk over to the phone station, right? And I catch myself like I'm not gonna do it because I recognize I'm going out of my way to do it. And so like our work iPads, we're both in the pharmaceutical industry and we have work computers and work iPads. They go into our office and we don't mess with them after like 5:30, right? They get plugged up in the office and I'm not checking work. It's like a rule now that we have incorporated and we stick to. We're not checking work email after a certain time or before a certain time in the morning. It goes in there and it stays there, and that's work time. So that's something that we've set up. I guess how to categorize this. We've set up hours, right? So work hours, we do work things. And we don't let ourselves check things other than that. Now, some people use their phones as their alarm clock, and we bought like a $7 alarm clock at Walmart, and that's what we keep in our bedroom because we are not taking our phones in our bedroom. And that leads me to the 4th thing that we have tried to incorporate to live a simpler life, and this is going to shock people, it's going to blow people away. It's less social media. Now, I have deleted Facebook. I don't have Facebook at all anymore. I still have an Instagram, which I've been convicted to maybe even get rid of that. But we tried to be very conscious of how much time we're spending on social media. So I lock my phone. I have, like you can set the screen time on your phone, and I only allow myself an hour a day on social media. And that's a lot of time, you guys. So you can and I encourage you to do that and stick to it. Set a time limit for social media on your phone, and then don't bring screens into family time. So like when it's time for us to lay down and go to bed, when we hang out at night, phones go up, right? iPads go up, all the stuff goes up. So yeah, those are just a few of the things that we have incorporated or changed in our life to try to live simpler. Smaller living space, because then you're closer to each other, literally closer to each other, which leads to less stuff. So less stuff you have to maintain, you have to keep up with, you have to take care of. You get more time back. Time management. So separating work from home life and sticking to those rules that you set for you and your family, and then less social media. Those are just a few things that we've changed that have really made an impact on our living simpler. Now, we are striving to live even more simple and to be outside more and to be with each other more. But ultimately, at the end of the day, everything is about time and how much time you have with your family and with others, because that's a resource you cannot get back. And having two little kids, two growing minds, two little humans that are going to keep changing and growing, and I don't want to miss that. Having them, we want to spend as much time with them as possible. So we're trying to make changes, trying to incorporate different practices, different habits, so we can spend more time with each other and just be simpler. And these are ways that we've done it. I hope this was valuable. I hope it was encouraging, and I hope you are encouraged to spend more time with your family and to live a little bit simpler and to not worry about stuff, not worry about the material things in life, but to worry about time and family and adventure, and just live with and for each other.